Hey guys, Redneck Mini 14 here, and this is the type of video that I really hate making because we're going to talk about the quality control of what I consider to be a truly great American-made gun company, and that's Henry. So, we're going to compare it to another quality control story that I'm sure we're all familiar with, because I'm sure everybody is familiar with the days of the Remington-made Marlin lever-action rifles. Everybody called them Remlins, and they were just notorious for being bad quality. Now, I haven't had the greatest experience with the Remington-made Marlins, but I haven't had the worst experience either. So we're going to compare one that I think I have the worst experience with to my new Henry X model 360 buck hammer. So, back in the day when Remington owned Marlin, one of the biggest issues that they had was the stock fitment. And on this 336 here, you can tell that the fitment of the stock, it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. And you can definitely see it here. And so it's just not the greatest. Now, is that a big deal? No, this was a $350 rifle, so I never really complained about it. The other issue that I've had with this rifle is when taking it apart, taking the barrel band off, the notches in the barrel and the magazine tube that are supposed to line up with this screw right here, they actually did not. They didn't line up, and when undoing that screw, the screw actually broke in half. And so that was a big problem, so I had to buy another screw. I didn't even bother calling Marlin or anything. I just went on Numerich Gun Parts, and I found a screw. And I was able to get it back together and get the screw in. It was really tricky trying to get that in, but I was able to get it in, and I don't know that I'm ever going to take that out unless I absolutely have to, because I can just see it breaking again. But that just goes to show that they didn't get the holes, the notches in the barrel and the tube to line up right to actually get it to fit properly. And so those are really the only two problems I've ever had. I've never had any feeding problems with this gun. I had a couple of issues with my 1894 and misfiring, and I'm not sure if the gun, maybe the firing pin was just dirty, gunked up, whatever, I don't know. But these are just the problems that I've had. But other people have had problems too with canted sights and jamming issues and things like that. So that was a really big problem. So my point that I'm trying to make here is that these problems that were, the Remington-made Marlins were plagued with, and Ruger has since solved these problems. You hardly ever hear anything with the new Ruger-made Marlins, but now it seems like there's a lot of issues that people are having with Henrys, and I'm part of a Henry group on Facebook, and so I see problems all the time. And now it could also be that Henry is also making way more lever-action rifles than Marlin currently, or Rossi or Winchester, anybody that's making lever-action rifles these days. Henry makes more than anybody, and they have more different models and calibers and all this other stuff. So it does make sense that they would have more quality control issues just because they have more rifles out there being sold on the market. So that does make sense. But is it also that they're mass producing these rifles and things are just getting missed more often? That is also a possibility as well. So let me get my Marlin out of the way here so I can show you the problems that I'm having with my Henry. So the first problem, I've showed this off in another video, but the first problem I saw right out the gate is when you slowly operate the lever, and I was just doing this in the store, wasn't trying to really rack the lever like you normally would, but when you slowly operate the lever and you bring it back, it hangs up. And I don't fully understand why it does that. I have a theory, and that it has to do with how loose the lever actually is, because this lever is really loose, and it could stand to have a shim put in it. And so I don't know if maybe because it's so loose that it doesn't line up properly and it binds up. I don't really know. That's just a theory. Is this a big deal? Not really, especially if a $12 shim kit could fix it. That's no problem. But the thing that is a problem are the sights. So, let me get this lined up here. So if you look down the barrel, you can tell that the barrel is not on there quite straight. The sights themselves are canted just a little bit to the right. And so this is a problem that people would say that the Remington-made Marlins were plagued with, was that so many of them had canted sights. It'd be canted to the right, canted to the left, or whatever. And so the fact that I have that problem with this Henry, it kind of worries me, and it kind of makes me wonder if Henry is kind of going down the road that Remington and Marlin went down a few years ago. I really hope not, because Henry is a really good gun manufacturer. They, put out a really great product, but it seems like their quality control is slipping. Now, I am going to make a warranty claim and have this gun sent off, and we'll see how long it takes them to fix the problem, and we'll just see what happens. So this will be my first time dealing with Henry warranties, so we're just going to see what happens. A lot of people say that it takes 2 weeks to 3 weeks, which is not terrible. I mean, I'm not going to be really shooting this gun that often, so I can definitely wait 2 to 3 weeks, even a month. But I would really like to get it back by deer season so that I can, or even before deer season, so I can sight it in and everything. And I actually want to get a peep sight for it to get a better sight radius. My plan is to make this not a woods gun, a brush gun that I don't use a scope for. So I have a nice peep sight with a fiber optic front sight. I think that'd be a really good brush gun, because I really want some kind of a deer rifle that doesn't have a scope, just for the option of being in the woods, because I've had problems before where deer have gotten so close to me that I couldn't find them in the scope fast enough because they're running past me. But if I didn't have a scope and I just had iron sights, it would have been a dead deer, no problem. So I really want a gun like that I can use in the thick brush for that purpose. So I think tonight I'm going to submit a warranty claim on this gun, and I've got a box I'm going to ship it off with, and we're just going to see how long it takes and if they actually solve the problem. So I will get back to you guys on that and make another video when the gun comes back. So other than that, that's all I have.
Hey, before I go, I just thought I'd remind everybody that I do have a second channel called Redneck Off the Range. Over there, I post most of my non-gun related content, so whether it's a video on my new tractor, my power tools, my projects that I'm working on, maybe wild game recipes, or just a random vlog, I post all of this kind of content over on my secondary channel. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go check it out, Redneck Off the Range. But that's all for this video, so subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.